Hello, Corey with Creative Habitats here. So this is the first Loripetalum that I ever tree formed. Years ago in the 90s, I was maintaining this yard right here, and the lady was keeping those Loripetalum as a bush, exactly like yours. And I said, hey, let's turn it into a tree. And here we are in 2025, and there it is. It's big. Now, they haven't done a really good job at maintaining it. And by maintaining it, all it is pulling off the lower branches. But that Loripetalum looked exactly like the ones that are out in front of your church. We're gonna go right across the street here. See these azaleas right here? These azaleas looked exactly like a bush. They had been maintained that way for a long time. Last year with the old homeowners, we're like, hey, let's tree form them. And look, they're sort of kind of trees. Now they don't have to prune the tops of these like they used to be doing. So these right here are normal azaleas that we tree formed. And it's hard to really appreciate it in this video, but they get comments all the time. Same thing with here. This right here, this customer called me up and go, oh wow, people come out here from the neighborhood and take family photos in front of this tree formed Loripetalum all the time. The bloom on it's amazing. So it doesn't matter that it's been a bush. The question is, what is it now? Take a look at what else I have. Right over there at that last house, let's bring you to this house. I have a lot of memories of this house. There's a couple things I remember it. That tree, I used to be taller. Their power goes down, it does a loop and it goes back. The reason I remember that is I had it line locate and I was trenching and they didn't mark and I almost got electrocuted to death. And I was sitting right there on those steps when the day after George Bush was elected. So anyhow, I was a one-man show back there, but I planted these guys right here. For many, many years, they were maintaining these right here. And last year, these people called me back, same customer, and they said, hey, what can we do with these? I said, let's tree form them. These are exactly like what you have. This is 1 year after tree forming it. It's so much easier to maintain it this way. Hey, so I'm gonna talk about something that's a little bit the opposite of the whole tree forming idea. Back in 2003, this used to be Russell Building Supply. In 2003, I was building my house, so I was up here quite often. I was also at the beginning of my career, and I was curious about this bush right here. Now, this bush right here at the time was about this tall. And I remember I talked to one of the guys here. It was the owner's son. I'm 56, he's about the same age as me. And he's like, hey, that's been here ever since I was a little kid, which makes that at least 50 years old. And what is that? Well, that is an elm tree. In other words, that is a 50-plus-year-old elm tree. And you can see right now it's maybe 8 feet, but for many, many, many years, this was maintained as a bush that's about that high. In other words, you can do about whatever you want with a plant. Following up on the idea that you can manipulate plants for them to do what you want them to do, here is a 400-year-old pine tree. So this is in our holding area. This is a bush Loripetalum that we have for a job coming up. I pulled the branches back. Unfortunately, you can't really see the branch structure. But if you plant this and you let it grow up like this, see the branch structure in there? You can turn a bush Loripetalum into a tree. The reason why I recommended that your church do this is once you get it to a certain point, it's much easier to maintain. The other thing is it is unique and striking. I've never heard of anyone taking a photograph, a family photo, in front of just a bush of Loripetalum. But I have heard of people going in front of tree-formed Loripetalum because it's absolutely amazing when it blooms in the spring and taking a photo. So I made that recommendation because I wanted to make your church look better. At this point, I've let my photos do my talking for me, and it's up to you guys to decide what you want to do. Thank you so much, Corey, Creative Habitats Landscaping.